Welcome back to our incredible Indian adventure. If you're just joining us, you got some amazing content to catch up on. We explore Jaipur, the stunning pink city with its majestic palaces, experience authentic village life in Chandelao, wander through Jodhpur mesmerizing blue alleyways, gotten lost in Jaisalmer golden sandstone beauty, camped under the star in the vast Thar Desert, explored magnificent forts that have stood for centuries, and even visited a location where Bollywood magic was presented. But today we're embarking on one of the most anticipated journeys of this entire trip. We're heading to Agra to witness the seven wonders of the world, the Taj
So right
Mahal.
here you see the fastest train in India departing. It's called the One Day Parrot.
And before our train arrives, let me tell you something that made this journey through India absolutely unforgettable. The people. Every single day, we've been blown away by the warmth, curiosity, and genuine kindness of the Indian people we met. From street vendors sharing their stories to families inviting us to kids practicing their English with us, to human
Hello.
connections have been the
How are
real
you?
treasure of this trip.
Good, and you? Okay, okay.
India doesn't just show you its monuments, it opens its heart to you through the people.
He must have somewhere place to be too, huh? And here is our not so fast train. We're going to Agra this morning.
Now, a quick word of practical advice when you encounter beggars. It is a difficult situation, but the best approach is to avoid eye contact and politely turn away. Giving money can sometimes encourage organized begging operations. If you want to help, consider donating to established NGO working on poverty alleviation instead.
So you have the option to buy some snacks, chai, and we are in the reserved seat.
So while we're rolling through the countryside, I want to talk about something you're seeing all around us. The agriculture of India, specifically Rajasthan. India is organized into 28 or 29 states with 18 union territories, each with its own government, culture, languages, and economic profile. Sort of like the US, each state has distinct characteristics. Rajasthan, where we have been traveling, it's actually India's largest state by area, covering over 342,000 square kilometers. And now here's what's fascinating. Despite being home to the Thar Desert, agriculture is absolutely vital to Rajasthan's economy.
Potato. I don't know what this is. Maybe rice. Huh? And then they have that yellow. That's mustard. Cauliflower. And the other one was wheat. Not rice. Rice is in monsoon season.
Employing over 60% of the state's population, Rajasthan has adapted its agriculture brilliantly to work with limited water. Farmers here have developed drought resistant farming techniques passed down through generations. But Rajasthan isn't just about survival farming, it's also a major producer of spices, particularly cumin, coriander, and fenugreek, those incredible flavors in Indian cuisine. Many come from these fields. The state also produces about 45% of India's guar gum, which is used in everything from fruit products to oil drilling, a major export. What's really interesting is how India's agricultural diversity works across states. While Rajasthan focuses on drought resistant crops, Punjab and Haryana to the north are known as India's breadbasket, producing massive amounts of wheat and rice. Kerala in the south is famous for spices and rubber. West Bengal dominates rice production. Each state has carved out its agricultural identity based on climate, soil, and water availability. The Indian government has been pushing agricultural modernization in Rajasthan through initiatives focused on micro irrigation system, drip, and sprinkler irrigation that can reduce water usage by up to 60% while actually increasing yields. They're also promoting solar powered irrigation pumps, which makes perfect sense. in a state with 300 to 330 sunny days per year. The Red Fort Wall of Agra, built by Emperor Akbar starting in 1565, and it actually predates the famous Red Fort in Delhi by nearly a century. This massive fortress served as the main residence of the Mughal emperors until the capital moved to Delhi. The sandstone walls stretch for 2.5 kilometers and rise over 20 meters high. What many people don't realize is that Shah Jahan, the emperor who built the Taj Mahal, actually spent his final years imprisoned in this fort by his son, with only a view of his beloved Taj Mahal across the river to console him. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and represents the power and architectural brilliance of the Mughal Empire at its peak. You know that if the horse's legs, both of them are in the air, it means that the rider died in battle. If one leg is raised, they died of wounds from battle. And if all four legs are on the ground, it means that they died of natural causes. And now we head off to the Taj Mahal. Before we go in, let me share what you need to know. First, tickets for Indian citizens, it's about 50 rupees, that's less than a dollar. For foreign tourists, it's 1,100 rupees, which is about 13 US dollars. Plus, there's an additional 200 rupees if you want to enter the main mausoleum chamber. However, no photographs in that chamber. It may seem like a big price difference, but its dual pricing system helps make India's heritage accessible to locals while maintaining these monuments. The security is very strict here as well, like very strict. So no tripods, no poses, no food, no etc. You can have your cell phone or small camera, but big cameras require special permission, I think. Water bottle and medication.
So completely symmetrical.
Before we go in, you need to know the love story that created this masterpiece, because the Taj Mahal isn't just a beautiful building, it's a monument of eternal love. The year is 1607. A 15-year-old Mughal prince named Khurram, who would later become Emperor Shah Jahan, is walking through a market when he sees a young woman selling silk and glass beads. Her name is Ajurmand Banu Begum, and according to legend, it was love at first sight. 5 years later, after astrological consultations declared the timing favorable for them to marry. Now, you might have heard some stories about the Taj Mahal. However, movie producers certainly have their own version of events. The movie Slumdog Millionaire, which you must see, has a pretty memorable take on this place. And actually, let me show you what I'm talking about.
Taj Mahal was the woman in the world. But when she died, the emperor decided to build this five-star hotel.
A five-star hotel. I love it. But let me tell you the real story, which somehow even more incredible. So after their marriage, she became known as Mumtaz Mahal, a jewel of the palace. And by all historical accounts, theirs was an unusually close marriage for Mughal royalty. She wasn't just his wife, she was his confidant, his advisor, his companion on military campaigns. He had other wives, as was customary, but she was clearly his soulmate. They had 14 children together over 19 years. In 1631, while accompanying Shah Jahan on a military campaign in Burhanpur, Mumtaz Mahal went into labor on their 14th child. Complications arose. On 17th of June 1631, at the age of 38, she died shortly after childbirth. Shah Jahan was devastated. Historical accounts say he went into mourning for a year, emerging with his hair turned white, his back bent. He had considered dying himself. Instead, he decided to create something that would make the world remember her forever. A monument so beautiful, so perfect, that it would stand as an eternal symbol of their love. A paradise on earth. Construction began in 1632. It would take 22 years and approximately 20,000 workers to complete. The best artisans from across the Mughal Empire and beyond were summoned. Calligraphers from Syria, stone carvers from Bukhara, specialists in pietra dura inlay from Italy. The cost was staggering, estimated at 32 million rupees at the time, which would be billions in today's currency. Here's the heartbreaking epilogue. Shah Jahan planned to build an identical mausoleum for himself in black marble across the river, connected to Mumtaz's white marble Taj by a bridge. But before he could start, his son Aurangzeb overthrew him and imprisoned him in Agra fort. Shah Jahan spent his final 8 years under house arrest, with only a view of the Taj Mahal from his window. When he died in 1666, his body was buried beside Mumtaz Mahal inside the Taj, the only thing that breaks the perfect symmetry of the building. Even in death, he couldn't bear to be apart from her.
So we out here at the Taj Mahal. That's the main gate. There is East Gate, West Gate, and South Gate. And check it out. The mausoleum. Yeah, we're here. Okay, let me flip it. Look at that. Look at that. So I think that's from the Quran, and it looks asymmetrical because it's actually wider on the top, but you can't really tell. So that's amazing engineering. And there's the mosque that faces towards Mecca, and it's about 4 p.m. And yeah, we're here, and there's the other one that was used for like a ceremony hall. We might be able to go look at that one and have an idea of what the mosque looks like.
Now let's talk about what makes this building so incredibly special from an architectural standpoint. The Taj Mahal sits on a massive platform, and the entire complex covers 42 acres. The iconic white marble dome rises 73 meters high, and that's about 240 feet, and the minarets at each corner stand 40 meters tall. Those minarets aren't just decorative, they deliberately tilted slightly outward so that if there is ever an earthquake, they'll fall away from the main tomb rather than onto it. That's 17th century engineer genius. The white marble came from Makrana in Rajasthan, the same quarries that provided marble for many Mughal buildings. But this isn't just plain white marble. It's inlaid with 28 types of precious and semi-precious stones: jade, crystal, turquoise, sapphire, carnelian, lapis lazuli, brought from places as far as Tibet, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, and China. This technique is called pietra dura, and if you look closely at the flowers, vines, and geometric patterns,
So you see how this is all inlaid? So nothing is painted on.
every single piece of stone is individually cut and fitted with precision that would challenge modern craftsmen.
It's a lot of work, huh?
Symmetry is absolutely perfect, except, as I mentioned, for the two tombs inside, where Shah Jahan's addition disrupts the original perfect balance. Everything mirrors everything else. The four minarets frame the main structure, the gardens are laid out in the classical Mughal char bagh style, four quadrants representing the four rivers of Islamic paradise, with water channels that create perfect reflections. And here's something incredible. The marble appears to change color throughout the day. In the morning light, it looks pinkish. At noon, it's dazzling white. In the evening, it takes on golden tones. Under the full moon, it seems to glow with an eternal blushish white. This wasn't accidental. The architects understood how light would play across the translucent marble surface. Pretty cool, huh?
Have you seen my friend? I don't know where she is. Look at that.
Taj Mahal has, of course, appeared in countless films, but one of the most famous recent appearances was in The Slumdog Millionaire, which won 8 Academy Awards in 2009. Remember the scene where Jamal and his brother Salim are giving unauthorized tours to tourists, making up stories about the Taj Mahal? That was actually filmed here, though they had to get special permission and film very early in the morning before the crowds arrived. In the movie, young Jamal tells tourists the story that Shah Jahan cut off the hands of the workers who built the Taj so they could never build anything as beautiful again. That's actually a myth. There's no historical evidence this happened, but it shows how the Taj has accumulated legends over centuries, stories that add to its mystique even when they're not true. The Taj has appeared in everything from James Bond films to numerous Bollywood productions. It became more than a building. It's a global symbol of love, instantly recognizable even to people who've never been to India. The Taj Mahal faces some serious challenges in the modern era. Air pollution, particularly from nearby industries and vehicle emissions, has been causing the white marble to yellow. In 1990s, the Supreme Court of India intervened, moving some industries away and creating a 10,400 square kilometer Taj Trapezium Zone, where strict environmental controls are in place. The Archaeological Survey of India now treats the marble with special mud pack made from fuller's earth. It's basically a traditional Indian beauty treatment, but for marble. They apply it, let it dry, then wash it off, and it draws out the pollutants. The entire monument gets cleaned this way regularly. There's also a problem of the Yamuna River, which flows behind the Taj. It became heavily polluted and the water level has dropped, which affects the wooden foundation. The original builders drove thousands of wooden pillars into the riverbank to create a stable foundation. These pillars need to remain wet to stay strong. If they dry out, they could crack, potentially threatening the entire structure. About 7 to 8 million people visit each year. That's over 20,000 people per day on average. Now we have to talk about one of the most famous photographs ever taken here. In 1992, Princess Diana visited the Taj Mahal and sat alone on this bench. That image of her, looking wistful and solitary in front of this monument to eternal love, became iconic. What most people didn't know at the time was that this trip was deeply symbolic. Diana's marriage to Princess Charles was crumbling. Just months later, they would announce their separation. Diana knew exactly what she was doing with that photo. She was supposed to visit with Charles, but he canceled his part of the trip for business meeting. So she came alone to this monument of love, and the image spoke volumes about her failing marriage. The bench became known as the Diana Bench, and ever since, it's been one of the most photographed spots at the Taj Mahal. In 2016, Prince William and Kate Middleton recreated the photo together during their visit to India, a much happier echo of what melancholy original image. The Taj witnessed both the sadness of the royal marriage ending and the strength of another beginning. Standing here, looking at this building that has captured imaginations for centuries, you understand why it's called the wonder of the world. This isn't just impressive engineering or beautiful artistry, though it's absolutely both of those things. It's a building with a soul, created from grief and love in equal measure. Shah Jahan wanted to create something that would make the world remember Mumtaz Mahal forever. He succeeded beyond anything he could have imagined. In creating a memorial to her, he immortalized their love story in stone. The Mughal Empire fell, the British Raj came and went. India became independent. Through world wars and revolutions, the Taj Mahal has stood here, still beautiful, still moving people to tears, still making them believe in the power of love. This is why I travel, not just to see beautiful things, but to stand in places where human history and emotion have created something transcendent. And with that, our day ends here, but the journey continues to Delhi tomorrow.